Hey guys, do you want to see the longest art piece I've ever worked on? If you see this, it says 7 hours 41 minutes, 6 hours 53 minutes. Oh, sorry, 0. Oh, wait, 6 hours 41 minutes. There it is. That's a line art. Yeah. Yeah, 8 hours and 42 for the coloring and shading. And then, yeah. And then it was also compiling it all together. So here we go. We're going to start with the sketch. Honestly, I don't know if I condone this, but I looked up a bunch of AI art for inspiration. I want to know what a cyberpunk bike looks like. It made up a bunch of stuff. I was like, wow, I like the dually wheel bikes. Those look so cool. So I decided to make a dually wheel bike for the two characters to ride on because it just felt natural. It's going to be a massively huge bike, right? This is when I remembered how many times I've watched, like, Orange County Choppers growing up, and I'd be like, wow, I actually know how to build a bicycle, don't I? I don't know anything about cars, but damn, I've watched enough Orange County Choppers to know what a bike looks like. Alright? So, I just kind of, like, looked at a photo. I think I was probably looking at one on a different device, because, most of this sketch was done on my boyfriend's tablet. I did make the mistake of losing this entire drawing and being like, oh, I thought it was on my old phone. Where is this thing? Yeah, it was on my boyfriend's tablet the whole time. See, I made the mistake where I just started, like, sketching the characters on the bike and everything to try to get two characters to fit on there. But I really should have went and took all the, reference sheets from the characters out and, like, tried to, check that all out. But, nope, I'm just going to eyeball what I think a Protogen looks like, even though these characters are oddly specific, or rather specific. So here we are. What's funny about this drawing is I feel like I've drawn it, like, 6 times, because if you watch me, this doesn't even include some of my, like, undos, to be honest. Like, this actually is only the strokes that I erased get put into this. This doesn't even include all the accidentally undo, go back 16 brush strokes. Right? Or try to go back and figure out what layer I merged accidentally. Okay, so coming up here is, like, the screenshot of the sketch I started with that I drew an actual sketchbook. Who knows how long I took researching and drawing that piece. I mean, we can't add it onto the 24 hours since I don't have a screenshot. Here you are. That's her. And yeah, so we're going to be tracing that in digital. Basically, I just took a picture with my phone, and then we're going to chase it into the phone. So this is a ridiculous amount of detail. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward most of this, like, triple time. Okay, that's my fast forward noise. Yeah, this is pretty basic, you know, like, draw lines, erase the extra. I got the hiccups here, man. Honestly, like, I really wanted to include, like, other people's characters or, like, cameos or, like, background stuff. I wanted to put, like, holograms and, like, advertisements and signs and glowy stuff like Cyberpunk universe would, but, like, in the end, I spent, like, a good can you stop meowing, please? I'm trying to do a voiceover. Probably, like, 20 hours in just the background, alright? Like, ridiculous. Maybe not that much, but, like, 15. A lot, okay? But, like, I end up making one holographic advertisement, like one painting in the background here. It's called Furry Soda. It's a picture of my customer's previous persona. He's a returning customer, so I know what he looks like. I've drawn him many times. I just kind of eyeballed this. Like, it's really bad. Like, I just kind of slapped it together because it was going to be in, like, really far in the background, and I had fun with the logo on the can, but, like, you're not ever going to see that. Yeah, it's more detail that I don't know why I waste my time on this. So now it's time to start filling in the colors, and I started going, oh, we're going to do purple buildings, and, like, we're going to contrast the yellow with the blue ground, alright? And then we got purple, yellow, blue. That's pretty much a good amount of colors, and then I just start filling her in. And I'm just literally just fill bucket tooling it, and then I just, like, try to color it in some gradients with a big airbrush, and then we're just kind of toning some things around and giving some variance. What is that called? value. Yeah, value and highlights. So, and then I added some of the buildings from the background as reflections in the windows. Put a big glowy outline around that. We're almost on the background here, right? And then this is about the time where I lose it on my boyfriend's tablet, and I start finishing the rest of the drawing on a different device. See? Here we are. But to be honest, I was trying to figure out how I wanted this drawing in here, and I didn't have the characters drawn correctly, so here we are with all the references and the fursuit picture up there and everything, and I'm like, god damn, I really just messed up the characters. It didn't look anything like how he's supposed to look like. He's supposed to have big long ears and that. So here I am, drawing it in, drawing his legs in all different, and we're gonna get diode in here too, so we're drawing diode, and I put so much time to make those legs look nice, and then I totally fucked it up there. I honestly hate that leg. But yeah, that's just my opinion. I'm an artist. How many times did I redraw the bike? Who knows? We're gonna keep going about that. So we're actually gonna go into the actual line art now, and we're being really meticulous about the detail. We're closing our lines. We are fixing all the points, and line art probably takes the longest, right? Yep, we fast forwarding again. Double time. Yeah, so I just copied the wheel and traced it so that it would line up the same perspective on the back. And we just going through and obviously just going over the same sketch I had already done, but making sure it's nice and clean this time. Why do I put myself through this? Why don't I just draw it right the first time? I don't know. I'm a good old procrastinator and I pay for it, alright? So if you notice here, I'm putting a windshield on. I lose it. I lost it. At some point, I must have thought it was an empty layer, and I deleted it, and then when the drawing was finished, I was like, oh, where'd that windshield go? Anyway, so this is the flats. You know, it's pretty basic. You just fill bucket tool, you fill in the lines, you make sure the lines aren't so fuzzy around the edges. And I started with a pale blue. I'm not sure why I do this. I just gotta make sure it's not white so that I can tell where I'm supposed to fill in the objects. Oh yeah, and Cody always has shoes on. I've drawn him like a dozen times. I've literally drawn a whole comic book page with his character, and he always wears shoes even if he's not wearing anything else. He's just always wearing shoes, and I don't know why I forgot this. And then at one point I was like, damn, Cody, I gotta put shoes on him. And he's like, yeah, you kinda do. And I'm like, you didn't say anything. He's like, yeah, I don't know. And I'm like, damn, Cody, I gotta put shoes on him. Man always wears his DC shoes. It's like his entire personality, alright? So we put him on. Alright? Don't have to be that complicated. Put some treads on this. They're kind of cool, I guess. And, yeah, I lost the windshield. Even though I put it back on, I do lose it later. We always gotta fix a couple more things, like the shoe was white for some reason. And, that's why we use the blue, so I can figure it out when I'm working on it. We're doing cell shading. This is my cell shading. So what I've done is I've picked two colors that I want to put the, as, multiply. And I tested it out. It blew by really fast because I'm obviously, like, super duper sped up. And I just liked how purple looks. Obviously, it's a purple background, and it's got to match. Can't put, like, brown or orange up and yellow up in here. It would match the blue and all that. So we got purple and pink, and we start doing the cell shading. We go all the way through. We go on every single object, and we're making hard lights. Not soft lights, only hard lights. And I try to make sure that I'm covering like large amounts of areas, like large surface areas about it, unless I'm making it a very deep shadow, like the underside of the arm, or like in the inside of the wheel, or underneath the fenders and stuff like that. So it's a nice way to make you'll notice when you're going through, you'll be like, but I don't want that to be just as dark. Well, you'll fix it later with the airbrush tool. It's a nice way I like to do. To put a lot of like ambient hard lighting in. It's like a perfect mixture between realism and cartooning for me. This is just how I like to do it. But first I put down the that layer, which sometimes has backlighting on it as well. Sometimes I put lines around just the edges of the line art to define edges. It just helps for when the colors are all there. It doesn't look so flat. So here is the airbrush I was telling you about. So we're soft shading the tops and bottoms and the edges, and sometimes we put the opacity really low and the airbrush really large, and sometimes if we can't control which areas it goes in, we use the magic wand tool on the line art. And then you go back in with the pink to lighten it back up again too. So we have it blending into dark and blending into light. We just got lots of gradients. And you can't see what's going on, can you? That's because I'm doing the lighting. The highlighting. And they're so meticulously small, we gotta zoom in pretty far to see them. So this is overlay. Like I said, the previous one was multiply, but this one isn't going to be so defining the shading as much as it's actually the lighting. So we are putting all the highlights in, we're adding extra shines here and there. And this one I actually don't blend with the airbrush. You can put another like layer in, but I actually only erase this one with the big soft eraser tool, low opacity. Okay, so here's a question. Do you know what the next step is? Yeah, here it is, super duper fast. It's coloring the lines. You might not be able to tell, but it looks way better, especially when you're zoomed in. No, I'm just kidding. It's obviously making the wheels glow. That's really important. Anyways, so I finally found the drawing on my boyfriend's tablet, and I put it back in on my phone, and we're finally rendering it all together. We're doing it. It's for good. We just slapped it all together in one day, and it's a drawing, man. So, you know, we're putting the lines on, putting a shadow on. It didn't look good. I didn't like it. Didn't like how the big blank spot on the left. I didn't like how this clashed with the background, and I tried a little bit longer. I tried a little bit harder, and I was like, what is with this drawing? Why don't I like this? So I decided, you know what, I'm going to fix it up a bit. We're going to add a little bit more lighting and stuff so it pulls it away from the background. And we put a lot of effort into making this glow, a lot more than it was already. And I didn't like it still, to be honest. I showed it to my customer and I said, you know, I really feel like I wanted more things in the background. But when I make it so small, I feel the need to like tilt it sideways. So I drew it again, and this time I made it a little smaller, and I think I still didn't like it. I didn't like it that small, so I did the entire re-rendering again, where it was just a third of the page, or maybe half the page. I just wanted to focus nicely. Let's check out some of these details. We got the hair, and the fluff, and the headlights, and I hope you all have a great day. Make sure you like and subscribe. I got Luna merch in my Etsy shop, so go to my link tree.